Most people think luxury service is all about polish, white gloves, perfect plates, and quiet confidence. However, luxury is actually built long before the guest ever arrives. It's in the prep, in the coaching, in the standards that no one sees. Today's guest, Andrew Hopson, said yes to hospitality at only 17 years old. And he went on to work inside Forbes 4 and 5 star properties, including iconic hotels like the Biltmore. It's a real conversation about what luxury actually demands and how leaders build teams who deliver it. Welcome to the Yes Show. I'm your host, Christine Trippi. Each week, we'll explore the life-changing power of saying yes, along with hotel leadership made easy. Get ready for inspiration, fun, and sweet hospitality. Let's go. Okay, before, Andrew, that we get started on your first yes question, I first have to give you a big congratulations. I saw that you were hued. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Hued. Now, I have to, I hope I am not wrong that this is a new thing.
So Hospitality Hued is a organization that's dedicated to the uplifting and support and connection of Black and Brown people in the hospitality space. So it's helping to add that perspective, to add that diversity, to increase the talent and presence in the industry. So I, along with many other champions, veterans, legends in the industry, we were listed as one of 100 people to watch in the industry for Hospitality Hued. So
Okay.
they are having the Hued Honors event on March 15th in Atlanta to help celebrate those who were selected and to celebrate the hospitality community and what we hope to achieve in 2026 and beyond.
Amazing. I would love to be at that event. And I just all of a sudden saw all these promotionals on LinkedIn coming up, and I saw that you were mentioned. Congratulations on being the top 100 in the top 100. And I just thought that was so amazing. But I had never seen this promotion before. So I thought, I wonder if this is new or if somehow I was not aware of it. But I think it's phenomenal. And I was just so proud to see our next guest was mentioned.
All credit to Ashley Johnson and what she has built. I've had a chance to connect. She's a powerhouse in the industry. I've had a chance to connect with her and get to know her story, her skill set. When I returned to hotel industries. So it was
Okay.
a huge honor for me and really establishes the part of the community that she's been helping to build and work towards.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to reach out to her because if there's anything I can do to support, I will love to. And
I'd love to connect.
congratulations on that. Yeah, yeah, feel free to send a connection. But now, I always love to begin with that first big life-changing yes. And you said yes to, at 17 years old, applying to Johnson and Wales. And looking back now, how has that yes impacted your life? And you just knew so early that this is what you wanted to do.
Well, it started out very simply as in culinary arts, as people are going to want to eat and enjoy themselves here, there's always going to be opportunity. There's always going to be the opportunity to be creative, to push the imagination and explore that creative side. And then there was always people enjoy eating and eating well. So there was always that being able to cook and prepare meals for yourself is always a stepping stone to continue to create that independence.
Mhm.
Now, those were the initial goals, very simple, very basic options that started my career or gave me that yes. And for me, what was fascinating was I didn't realize that those three whys to get to that yes would turn into three more and then three more,
More, right.
building, finding that having to work within a level of maturity and expectations, because being one of the youngest in your classes, you now have to rise to level of expectations. You're now being exposed to certain items and certain techniques and certain classes and certain chefs who oftentimes growing you may not everyone has that access to.
Fantastic. And I don't know if you know this about me. I started at 17 as well. I was
Hmm.
in the high school work program, and I started working at a Hampton Inn as a van driver slash laundry girl, and that is where my illustrious career began. So again, I just interviewed a high school teacher, Susan Harriman, who created a hospitality program for her high school students. And again, I am always championing to not discount our young people because there are so many people that are ready to learn a little bit more before they go into that degree or before they make that career choice to learn a little bit about what they do like and what they are passionate about. So I just love that your journey also started so young and so ambitiously. Now I know you worked for Sheraton and Marriott and Hilton and Weston, and then you moved into this luxury space.
Hmm.
There's so many people out there right now that are listening that think that's not meant for them, that they wouldn't fit in there. And you know what? You're looking at one of those girls. I'm this fun, high energy. I've got my own luck story to tell you too. But so many people put themselves in a box and they don't see themselves in that role. What would be a few things you'd say that you learned going from good service to Lux service?
So the first item I would say is the foundations of hospitality, of service, are consistent across your tiers. It is looking at how you apply those. So, anticipating guest needs, you are that spirit of service, that adaptability, that calm under pressure. A lot of those common traits are found in classic, what you would consider classic hospitality and luxury hospitality. The difference is oftentimes how you apply those. Because a guest who is paying, let's say, $1,000 a night for a room, they're still looking for those core basics.
Hmm.
It's how you apply those and how do you address those in the way that they have their needs are met. The the other item that people may not, your listeners may not realize, your guests in a luxury space, they are still human. They want to laugh, they want to connect, they want to have that great experience. A lot of guests who I've had a chance to engage with, we share a good laugh, we have jokes, and we have those conversations. The difference is in the luxury space, there's the foundation is built on your technique. It is built on your service. At no at every point in time, can I share with you a perfect story that gives you that example?
Yes, I love it. I love a story.
So it was a guest who came for breakfast, and they were asking about the type of bird that settled on the bushes while they were eating breakfast. So they called me up, went to touch the table. They asked about the birds, and I said, "Well, I'm not quite sure. I'd be happy to find out for you." The guest came with a response was, "Well, what good are you if you don't know what birds there are outside on your property?" And my response was, "Oh, understood. My priority is making sure the birds on your plate are prepared to your liking because they had over medium eggs."
Uh-huh.
Fun laugh. And then, fun laugh, I stepped away and went to confirm the bird types that are normally found on the property. But it's that elegance, that technique, that calm under pressure, and even that good humor is layered on top of the foundation of how you engage your guests.
Yes. And I would say another addition to that is like I think you even said technique. I think maybe it looks the same, more polished and more technique, if you will. Like in serving a meal, it's like from the right and the left. And I don't even know all the serving techniques, but there are certain techniques that in a more casual atmosphere, that's not as important. But in a luxe environment that is very important. So the same service, the same smile, the same connection, the same personalization. And the big thing I want people to hear is that techniques can be learned just like we learn new systems, we learn new platforms. That is easily learned. Hospitality, in no matter what box you're in, can be luxe.
The other term that you hear and that has stuck with me is that intentionality. So in luxury,
Hmm.
intentionality is woven through your steps of service, your process, how you engage the guest, how you move on the floor. And as you mentioned, these are techniques that can be practiced.
I have a great example as well. So it was when I first moved into my own business here, and I was be able to help anybody in any brand and any person. I was scoped to kind of be a consultant and a secret shopper, if you will, for a luxury resort in Sedona. And I'm
Oh,
going to be honest with you. I questioned, am I the person for this job? Because I am this big personality, fun person, right? I questioned, would I be able to help them? There's this beautiful resort in Sedona. They're luxury. You just know the persona and stereotype of this brand and this iconic place. And I had a little imposter syndrome. But then I went there and I experienced everything through my eyes and all that. And I was able to give them so much. And it was a great testament to my imposter syndrome to say, yes, hospitality is the same in every box. But again, in a certain box, you have more tools, you have more budget, you have more technique. But if the people don't feel it in their hearts, if they don't, you can tell anybody the 5 15 5 rule, you can tell anybody the learn or the heart model. If they don't feel it in their hearts, if they don't know that what hospitality means and that they get to change the world and all of that, then it doesn't matter the technique.
mm-hmm.
You've got to feel it in your heart. And that all starts from your culture and whatnot. And I'm going to give you a great example. So at the time, I had never had a massage before. Now, as their secret shopper, I needed to do all the things. Okay. And I was a little freaking out because I don't do massages and stuff like that. And so, but I signed up for a massage and I told them on the phone, I said, this is my first massage. I'm really nervous. Am I going to have to get naked? All the things, all the things. But when I showed up, it was, welcome, which was fine. I'll say it was fine. The welcome was fine. And then here is where the locker room is. You have a robe here, and then you'll meet in the hallway. So there was no notes that could have been taken about how insecure I was about it, how nervous I was. There was so much that could have been done to make me feel so comfortable and baby step my way into it, but none of that was utilized. So, Forbes talks about golden nuggets all the time, and as I do as well. But golden nuggets are nothing if you don't do anything with them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right.
And it's in hospitality and especially luxury, it's hospitality is found in the nuances of service, the creases of service, in understanding where that nonverbal body language that someone may see or may
Yes.
adjust to, or that oftentimes in those moments it is you know what, I think I saw something, not quite sure, based on my experience, let me act on that to then achieve that expectation or create that experience.
So you now work at the Biltmore, the historic, world-renowned Biltmore it's in Asheville, right?
That is correct.
Asheville, North Carolina. And I mean, what a resume piece. Oh my gosh, how delicious that you get to say. I mean, I used to be like, oh, I work for Marriott. I was so proud. But I mean, to say you work at something as iconic as the Biltmore, that's such a pride statement. So tell us a little bit about that transition, getting that job. What you did when they said you're hired. How did you celebrate?
Oh, it was an interesting transition because I actually did not start until after Helene.
Oh, okay. Really? Okay.
So definitely coming in, and it was so interesting enough, I started in South Georgia in Sea Island, And then
Mm.
I actually followed. So Helene came through South Georgia and then followed up to Asheville.
Wow.
So I ended up following Helene up to the city and then up to Biltmore. So definitely in a time, and definitely a time where it was a, this was actually a 1 in 100 year event for Asheville. The
Yes.
last time a hurricane or storm came was 1916.
Wow.
So the city has taken some time to rebuild. Biltmore took some time to rebuild, but every year, so the Biltmore reopened on November.
Oh.
And that was a big statement for the city of Asheville because
Yeah.
it's Biltmore is a pillar to the community, to the American history, and rightly so. So when Biltmore opened, it symbolized as a beacon that the area Asheville is returning.
Mm.
And then each month that came on, people became a little bit more confident about returning to the city, which is a good thing.
Yes. Did
So
they have much damage?
So for the Biltmore, it was elevated. The Biltmore, my property and the estate was elevated, so there was some damage. But the challenge was some of the lower lying areas. Have you heard of the Rivers Arts District?
Yes, yes, I've been there.
So the challenge of the River Arts District is where a lot of the flooding came, a lot of those art galleries, those pieces, those shops were all on the waterfront.
Oh.
So that's where I believe the rivers rose about 25 to 30 feet. So a lot of those art galleries and items were really heavily impacted.
My gosh.
The city of Asheville didn't have water restored until mid-November.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so you got it double trouble. You had it the hurricane when you were in Georgia, and then you moved on to the Biltmore, and same thing. They were impacted with the same storm.
Absolutely. But
Gosh.
the culture of Biltmore, the culture of Asheville is a tough hit, but we're going to overcome. Our community is strong. We will continue to rebuild, repair, renew to welcome guests and tourists back.
Mhm.
And really, beginning of we saw we saw that come back in full force with our holiday season this year, where
Nice.
a lot of guest travelers, a lot of good opportunities, and also thankful for travelers. There were some who came to Asheville to spend some time after it opened to show their support and make sure
Nice.
they said they didn't want to cancel their trip. They wanted to come out and show their support. They wanted to come and see the grounds. So just a huge outpouring of goodwill for the community across the board.
Fantastic. Now, take us into the behind the scenes, the back of the house at the Biltmore. Tell us, like when I go do property visits, I can't wait to see the back of the house. What are they doing? What kind of fun things are happening? As the director of fun, I want to see that. Is there anything fun and unique? I remember going to the Gaylord, and they had a lot of cool things up on their walls and stuff like that. Is there anything that when you first started day one, you're like, wow, that stood out to you? Tell us what it's like in there.
Say my day one at the Biltmore was definitely different than your traditional day ones.
Okay.
So for me, in my experience, it was make getting to know the team, trying to make sure that we are getting reopened, getting them back on a good pathway, a good level, and just making sure the team was aware that we have leadership here for you. We're here to support you. We're here to be in the trenches with you. So we have our employee meetings. We have different functions and giveaways. So the Biltmore has always been consistent of keeping the team members top of mind and engaged. So
Love that.
especially with the untraditional year that the estate has had.
Yes, yes. And give me some examples of that. What do they do for their team members that might be different than what we've seen in all the traditionally branded hotels that we've worked for? Is there anything different that what does the onboarding process look like? Is it any different? Do you do anything special that really sets Biltmore apart?
So for the orientation, it's making sure everyone has the opportunity to see the house and tour the house and see
Oh,
the different gardens and museum and really immerse themselves in the history of it for starters. And then also the family, some of the members of the family will come in and speak to new team members just to share that legacy, share their memories. uh, the other part is you never really know what you are going to have the opportunity to be a part of being at the Biltmore. They're in fact filming a Biltmore Christmas movie as we speak. So one of the not unusual, but non-traditional items is reaching out to team members to see if they're interested in being cast extras while they're filming.
that's so exciting. I know when I opened up Key Cove Water Resort, we did all kinds of marketing shoots, and so many of our team members were in the water park shoots and the brochures and everything. So that was really, really fun.
So it's nice to be at a property where there's a lot of history, there's legacy, and have that opportunity where they are filming a movie, and then our team members have the opportunity to be a part of that as well.
So amazing. Now, a couple things I want to make sure everybody knows is you have an article called, or not an article, a newsletter that
Mhm.
called Setting the Table, Setting the Tone. Tell everybody about your newsletter and how they can get that.
So I curate this newsletter. It's a monthly subscription on LinkedIn. Well, it's you can subscribe. I release it monthly.
Okay.
So it came about where I wanted to engage on certain issues: food, beverage, hospitality. Certain issues that come up. I did an article on task force hospitality
Oh,
and had a
nice.
chance to connect with people in my network in my circle who were really talented in hospitality in task force. So sharing some of those trade-offs, some of the expectations. So I have one, and 1 month I'm partnering with one of my colleagues in the rooms side. So we're talking about some of those differences between rooms and food and beverage. What are those traits? The kind of bridging the aisle or bridging the gap, for lack of a better term.
And now, is this something you do for you, or is this something part of Biltmore that you're doing for them?
Oh no, this is for me. So I
Love it.
started about 2 years ago and just feeling that there were certain issues that I could lend my perspective to. I can help
Mhm.
someone else along the way. Someone can learn from, either an item I could have done better in the past, but just offering that perspective for those looking either in hospitality or looking to join hospitality. Uh, I enjoyed like I did one last year about the different conferences and different expos and how to kind of handle and engage those and what create values from it.
Yeah.
Because that was some I attended my first ever industry event back in 2013
Oh.
and great experience. And then that was an event that opened my eyes and my perspective to what you can achieve in hospitality because there were so many people I had a chance to meet and get to know and build
Mm.
relationships with that I never really thought was possible.
It's all about the relationships and the exposure. So you are right on there.
And in that same newsletter, one of the situations I mentioned about the gentleman, I did a two-part over the summer called it Summertime Shenanigans, where hoteliers and people in my circle were able to share some of the stories that they encountered working in this industry. Because what
Mm.
people don't understand is a, in these receptions and in these events where a lot of hoteliers will connect and catch up and trade stories, a lot of these are the stories that we've just kind of lived with.
Mm.
I made the Coldplay incident that happened, or I
Right.
think April, May. You realize working in hotels, the Coldplay incident doesn't even make the top 30 of what you've encountered working in this industry. It was like, oh, that's precious.
It's precious, exactly. It just wasn't televised.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I love that. So, anyone out there, oh, you have so much beautiful experience and a story to share with the world. So, if you're not connected and subscribed to his newsletter, do that. I'm going to put Andrew's link in our bio so you can connect with him on LinkedIn and you can subscribe to his newsletter. So, that would be great. I know there's a few things I took from your newsletter that I wanted to ask about. One of the newsletters I read recently was about AI trends. And
Hmm.
I wanted to ask you a little bit. I know a couple of talking points in your newsletter was AI will move into tasks people never loved doing anyways. So
Hmm.
that's one. Fear isn't replacement, it's resistance. I totally agree with that. And we always wanted to try this will become the narrative. I really wanted you to kind of dive into that. What did you mean by that?
So oftentimes in technology, hospitality has gotten the unfair kind of tag as the late adopter. Uh, I think
Yes.
some outside the industry may not necessarily understand what all goes into what it takes to adapt new technology. I think for AI, we have seen it's initially AI and hospitality. People were a little bit skittish, a little bit nervous, a little bit resistant. This past year, we've seen how people are a little bit more open to seeing how they can make it work and how they can fit it into their processes. But there's still an emphasis, the always reminder of hospitality involves the human connection. Industries are becoming more comfortable with this may work for us, this may not work for us. What we do may be different from another property or another brand. That's okay.
Mhm.
I believe by 2026, we'll start to see people become a little bit more comfortable with what I call the human plus workforce. Uh, and then I think by October, November, we're going to see a lot of processes and AI usage where those who may have been early resistors may be the ones that say, "Oh, we've always wanted to try this and always wanted to do that."
Okay. Well, what you just said something about AI plus. Is that what
Human
you said?
plus, the
Human
human
plus.
plus.
What do you mean by that? Explain that.
So I was at a conference in December called Inspire by the International Luxury Hotel Association,
Mhm.
and again, it was speaking about those areas, either certain call centers or certain asset facets where you can apply AI to the workforce or to those processes to help create efficiencies. That was also done through the aspect of in the luxury side, your AI, your technology will not be guest facing. So it has to be how can we implement it that is out of guest view.
Yes.
So it's that combination of where can we use AI for some of those efficiencies, for reservations, for interactions, but there's still going to be a level of team members on site in person who are watching kind of how those chats arrange and making sure that when people are asking certain items, how can they tweak AI to adapt to those questions better?
Hmm.
So like so it'll be a human who will understand if I'm getting 12 different questions for in-room dining, there has to be someone who will watch that and kind of flag that to either adjust those prompts or adjust that process so that way that information is then that AI whoever's engaging that will be readjusted.
Love that. Yeah, that's a perfect blend for it. So
Mhm.
here's a couple of fun, quick one-liners, I guess. One word to describe luxury service today.
Oh, one word to describe luxury
One
service.
word. Only one word, Andrew.
No, I'm thinking one word. Um, Evolving.
Oh, I like that. Okay, I like it. One habit every hospitality leader should build.
Presence.
That is a good one. We're so caught up in the next thing. We often don't have presence. I love that. One, yes, you're glad you didn't talk yourself out of.
I would say the first, this was back when I was younger, my participating in the student ambassador program, having a chance to travel to 4 European nations in
Oh,
3 weeks before I started high school.
very cool. I'm glad you didn't talk yourself out of that either. Anytime you can travel. So if someone listening today is in their hospitality journey and they're unsure if this industry is worth it, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that this industry has the opportunity to show you things, teach you things, build into your skill set far beyond anything that you have ever been capable, that you ever thought possible, and that hospitality, those who work in hospitality are some of the most hardworking, trusting, intuitive, instinctive, resilient individuals that make up a huge backbone of why people travel and do what they do.
Yes, I love that. And at the same time of all that, you're changing the world. Okay, it's the time where I'm going to ask you a question from our last guest. This question was from Melissa Mayer. What is the biggest risk you have taken and what did you learn from it?
I think the biggest risk I took, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, she just gave that to me. I'm like, oh, I like it. I like it, Melissa.
You said she just gave it to you?
Yes.
Oh, because I've know her quite well.
Oh, you do?
Mhm.
Oh, I just talked with her yesterday.
The biggest risk I took, I think I would probably go back to accepting accepting the opportunity to to leave home and go to Charleston at that young age.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. And what was why are you what did you learn from that?
I think what I learned from that is to trust in your foundation, trust in your grounding, trust in your passion. It was something I knew I wanted to do. Also, having an awareness of what it takes, what you need to be able to continue to sustain. It's understanding that a level of maturity is going to be required, a level of discipline is going to have to be required, and a level of trust as well, because to make sure that I am succeeding, because at the end of the day, it's you have not received your diploma yet. I had to take one final class at a separate community college alongside my normal workload, my case study load, in order to make sure I was completing my high school diploma in credits on time.
Right, right. Very wow, interesting. Well, great risk and it sure paid off, didn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes. Now, Andrew, what question do you have for my next guest?
Oh, this is tougher than what I thought.
Oh,
Uh, Question for the next guest. When did you, when did you discover that this industry became your calling?
okay, I like that. Perfect. Excellent question. Perfect. And I just have to know if you can answer, who is your favorite celebrity that you ever got to serve?
Actually, I was working in purchasing at the time,
Oh,
so shipping and receiving. So this, I actually got to meet Boys to Men.
oh, that's a fun one. And they were nice.
Absolutely, it
Nice.
was. So I had it. So in my role, I was taking care of shipments and helping to bring certain items to different guests and departments. And got a request for a delivery. Uh, had the name and didn't really put two and two together until I went to deliver it, and it was, oh, I recognize this name.
And they used their own name.
Mhm.
That's cool. Yeah, my favorite guest that I checked in was Jay Leno, and he used his name.
Oh,
He checked himself in. He was a delight. I just, I just can't believe how nice he was to all of us. Yes.
what I always find interesting is, especially in hospitality, it's what it seems like people don't realize that when your high profile guests check in with like the pseudonyms, like I've seen guests check in as like the Bruce Waynes and the
Yeah.
Clark Kents, and ironically, all that does is end up those obvious ones end
Cause
up
more attention.
So, and then the nice part is when you engage your high profile guests like actual people, like they still want to be served, they want to have a great experience, and it's you get more from you have a much more authentic conversation.
Yes, I've always told my people, treat our regular guests like movie stars and treat our movie stars like regular guests. Well, Andrew, it has just been such a pleasure getting to know you more. Congratulations on your recognition with the Hued. And I'm so glad that I'm going to call you friend. And
Absolutely,
I'm going to
Christine.
come see the Biltmore.
Please do. We'd love to have you.
Fantastic. That's a wrap for today's show. Say yes to taking action and changing the world one yes at a time. And oh, my friend, will you say yes to review, like, and subscribe? The more yeses you give, the more juicy goodness I can bring to all of you wise pineapples. Cool or cool?